Сегодня у нас в гостях университет Будапешта, экономики и технологий, и представители миссис Валерия.
So good afternoon, hello and welcome to our presentation representing the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. My name is George Horvat and she is Mrs. Valeria Balog, and we will be introducing the university today.
Сегодня у нас в гостях представители университета Будапешт, миссис Валерия, и can you please repeat your name?
My name is George Horvat. I will be the second presenter today.
Mr. George, nice to meet you.
Hello. Okay, so I'll just put the presentation on and then we can get started. Let me see if I can share the right screen. In
the last 2 years, we visited education fair in Astana and Almaty. It was very beautiful to see lots of students who would like to come to our university this year or maybe in the near future. And also we saw beautiful places in your country. And I guess it is a beautiful country, and definitely it is our pleasure to have students from there. I give the floor.
Миссис Валерия говорит, что посещала нашу страну и очень понравилось, и они будут рады видеть наших студентов у себя в университете.
So once again, a good morning or good afternoon for you, and I would like to begin our presentation today, which is about how we try to create a second home for international students.
Начинаем презентацию о том, как создать второй дом для международных студентов именно в их университете.
So in the beginning of my presentation, I would like to talk a little bit about BME, about the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. I will tell you a little bit about the famous former students, old students who were at our university, and then we will also talk a little bit about the academic system at Budapest University of Technology and Economics. And finally, I will tell you a little bit about the international student trips that we have been organizing recently.
Презентация будет о том, про представление университета BMA и про популярных выпускников университета, и также про академическую систему, систему обучения в университете, и про поездок международных университетов в части Венгрии.
So this is the location of our campus. As you can see, it's located on the river Danube, the Duna.
Это находится университет и кампус возле реки Дунай.
We have been using this campus for about 120 years now. It's a beautiful city inside a city. It has lots of parks. It has a beautiful environment, and it's a really charming place for you to study.
Там уже находимся больше 100 лет, и очень прекрасное место, рядом парки, в центре города, и очень великолепный пейзаж, чтобы учиться.
So we have been going through about 2 centuries, or right now 2.5 centuries of change. Our university was founded back in 1782 by the then Emperor Joseph II of the Habsburg Empire.
Университет был основан вторым императором Джозеф Гамсбурга в 1782 году и имеют двухвековый опыт.
We were also the first polytechnic institute in the 19th century in Europe, which is a very important thing for us. It may not sound like a big thing, but before that, polytechnic institutions simply didn't exist.
Первый полностью политехнический институт, университет в Европе в XIX веке, и это очень важно, так как университет был первым, кто достиг такого уровня.
And when we were organized into a university, we were the first one to actually have that name university adopted. Even today, some universities don't call themselves that, they just say they're a school, but we're very proud that we were the first to be called the University of Technology.
Первый политехнический университет, который могут называть себя университетом, и назывались университетом впервые. И в данный момент не все институты могут назвать себя университетом и достигли такого уровня.
At one point, we had as many as 98 departments covering a lot of different areas of discipline of knowledge. And we were the largest university in the country at one point, after some divisions had been taking place, but we're still the largest technical university, not only in the country, but also in Central Europe.
Есть около 98 отделов в университете, и от этого является самым большим университетом в стране, и не только в стране, в Центральной Европе, среди технических университетов.
So BME today consists of 8 faculties and 77 departments. The faculties are dealing with a various range of engineering subjects. There are 6 engineering faculties, 1 for natural science and 1 for economic and social sciences. And together we offer a very good, broad education to our students.
Есть 8 факультетов, которые 6 принадлежат инженерии, и 1 естественным наукам, и 1 экономике.
We have about 1,250 permanent members of staff. We also have some temporary staff. And as it is a requirement by law, 700 and even more by now have academic degrees. And many of them are also member of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. So these are very important and very highly qualified lecturers that you will encounter.
Имеются 1250 учителей, и 700, которые имеют ученых степеней и достигли многого, и являются 19 из них в составе Венгерской академии наук.
We have about 23,000 students. This fluctuates a little bit. This fluctuates a little bit from year to year, simply because of how the students end up going through high school, and demographic changes, of course, show up very nicely. But we have more or less always between 21,000 to 25,000 students.
Есть 23 тысячи студентов, и это число с каждым годом меняется в зависимости от разных факторов.
Yeah. And we have been engaged with international education for 35 years now, which is something that we're very proud of. And at the moment, we have about 2,500 students. That includes Erasmus students, exchange students, and also mostly regular students who are now a part of our university program.
Они сейчас практикуют международное обучение, и в данный момент 2500 студентов являются по обмену, по Erasmus'у, которые обучаются в университете по международной программе.
We also pride ourselves in being a very international university, and I will save you the problem of reading all of those. Those are very important university associations that we are a member of. Many of them are in the English Language Universities League, but otherwise there's also French-speaking universities and German-speaking universities, which we also do, but to a lesser extent nowadays. So as you can see, we are active members of so many organizations, and we're very proud to be able to offer you a world-class education as a consequence of this.
Университет является участниками этих перечисленных организаций и очень активно относятся и рады и гордятся тем, что они могут дать своим студентам международное образование.
We also have exchange partnerships, as I've told you, although probably when you arrive at our university, some of these will not be available because some of these are reserved to European Union students, such as, for example, Erasmus Mundus. But there's other programs which you can definitely participate in, even locally. For example, there's CEPUS, which has local events, Athens, which is the Advanced Technology Higher Education Network under the framework of Socrates, where you can join the programs if they are on. And there's also the Time Association, which is Top Industrial Managers for Europe, which is a network of about 50, well, by now about 60 leading universities of technology. And we offer double degrees, doctorate cooperations, and summer schools. So there's all sorts of things to do under the scope of that as well.
Университет предоставляет возможности обмена студентов, и вы можете по CIPUS, по Essence, Central European Exchange и Advanced Technology, по этим программам вы можете поехать в другие университеты Европы, другие политехнические университеты и обучаться там. Также университет предлагает двухстепенные дипломы и летние программы для студентов.
Yes, and we also have a flyer which is available for you in Kazakh as well, but also in Russian. So if you want to, well, I wouldn't say that you read that right now because the letters are too small, but if you want to have access to this, I'm sure we can pass on the information as is required. And for that, we will be requiring, of course, your contact details, which we'll be very glad to have so that we can keep in touch with you and give you all the necessary information about the university admission, the processes and the dates.
У них есть брошюры, флайеры на казахском языке для наших студентов, абитуриентов, и вы можете прочитать это после, найти в интернете и также связаться с университетом. Они будут рады вам предоставить информацию о поступлении, о дедлайнах и так далее.
So next we will continue with a little bit of an introduction to some of our famous former students who walked the corridors of our own university.
Будут представлять студентов, которые гуляли по коридорам университета и достигли успеха.
So this is perhaps one of the most well-known of our famous alumni. And as you can see, he is, of course, Erno Rubik, the creator of Rubik's Magic Cube, and which made him world famous. He was a student at the Faculty of Architecture, of all places, at our university. And he came up with this design for a magic cube, which he set as a challenge to his students.
Это Рубик, который придумал кубик Рубика и учился в факультете архитектуры, занимался также дизайнерством и в итоге придумал кубик Рубик, чтобы дать челлендж, дать какое-то интересное испытание ученикам.
So he basically set a homework for his students to come up with the design for Rubik's Cube. But then as all teachers, when you set a homework for students, you also want to solve it. So then he ended up solving it. And then now he's basically a multimillionaire as a consequence of that, because of course his Magic Cube is selling many, many millions of copies every single year.
You can continue, I think.
Oh, sorry. And this is another famous alumnus. Well, okay, there's two of them. One of them is me. You can recognize that. That's one of my sleepy mornings. But the person, the gentleman on the right, should be familiar or could be familiar to some of you. He's actually our first astronaut who was part of the Intercosmos program. And he happens to ride the train with me every morning, which is something very strange for you as you meet your childhood hero on the train that you ride. He's also a frequent visitor to the Baikonur Cosmodrome as a consequence, because of course he gets to go back there as a consequence.
Который слева это он сам, и справа это астронавт. Также он посещал Байконур, и они часто пересекались в городе, и он является тоже, говорит, что ближе к нашей нации, так как у нас очень много связано с именно астронавтами.
So yes, this is something that you can also experience in Budapest. We're a small city, but also a large city. And if you're from Almaty, you will have a very homely feeling there. And yes, of course, you can meet very famous people even on the street, and that will be a very nice experience.
Да, там очень много живут популярных людей, и вы можете их встретить, прогуливаясь на улицах в городе Будапешт.
So there he is in space. This is probably a more recognizable picture of him in his Intercosmos spacesuit. That's from space, and that was taken in 1980 when his space flight took place.
Да, его зовут Бертолан Фаркас, и который был в предыдущем фото, и говорю, что это его популярное фото, вы можете его узнать, и он является астронавтом.
Another person who is very famous, he is the creator of holography, or better said, reholography. So when an image appears in front of you in space, like for example, what you see in Star Wars, that's because of his contribution to science. And he was one of our students as well.
Это Денис Габр, и он придумал, он занимался голографиями и достиг в этой сфере успехов. Думаю, среди нашего кругу не так популярен, но вы можете также прогуглить про этого человека.
Then we also have Eugene Wigner, or Jenny Wigner, who is known for his contribution to theoretical physics. He was a nuclear scientist who died in 1995, and he discovered a pollution which occurs in nuclear reactors. So his contribution to nuclear energy production is very important.
Это Джина Вихнер, он физик, занимался ядерной физикой и заявил о загрязнении после использования ядерной физики, после последствий, и его труды, слова являются очень важными.
Yeah, and as you can see, he was also a Nobel Prize nominee and a Nobel Prize winner. So he is one of the most famous students at our university.
Да, он выиграл Нобелевскую премию и является одним из очень популярных выпускников университета.
So another Nobel Prize winner is George Olah, who was alive between 1927 and recently passed away in 2017. He was also a Nobel Prize winner for his contribution in organic chemistry.
Это Джорджи Олах, также является призером Нобелевской премии. Он занимался органической химией и взял премию за свои труды в этой сфере.
And his most important, well, his not most important contribution, but his hallmark was that once he won the Nobel Prize, he very rarely went to give presentations in universities. And of course, universities would want you to come if you're a Nobel Prize winner. Instead, he decided that it was best if he went to high schools, secondary schools, to give chemistry classes and then show to the teenagers what they can achieve in the world of science if they are dedicated.
Он в основном презентовал свои труды не в университете, а предпочел идти в школы и там детям, школьникам их ознакомливал своими трудами органической химии.
So moving on, we have some of the nuclear people who have contributed not so much to world peace, but to world war. One of them is Ede Teller, who was the father of the hydrogen bomb, which was employed in, of course, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So we're proud of him for the scientific achievements, but not what the scientific achievements were used for.
Эда Теллер является отцом Hydrogen Bomb, и благодаря его трудов произошли Хиросима и Нагасаки. Они гордятся его трудами, а не тем, в каких целях были использованы они.
And also we have Leo Szilard, whose work was then later used by Edward Teller. He was a researcher into chain reactions, and it was his contribution that helped maintain those chain reactions, which is both used in nuclear technology, such as, for example, nuclear reactors, but also in bombs as well.
Лео Циллард занимался цепными реакциями и тоже имел какую-то степень часть в ядерных бомбах.
And we also have Kalman Kondo, who was a very important contributor to electromotive traction, which is basically how trains run. His work was very important because at the time, the most prominent way of transporting or moving trains was steam. And diesel was just not a thing at the time. So they wanted to move over to electric traction, electric movement of trains very quickly. But to transmit that amount of energy, that amount of electric power over the power lines was a big problem. So he came up with a very important solution, and he is literally world famous as a consequence of that.
Кальман Канто занимался электродвижущими силами в поездах и решил очень важную задачу в этой сфере и тем же облегчил жизни составителей поездов, инженеров поездов.
And we also have Theodor von Karman, or Todor Karman, who was a contributor to aerospace science. If you've ever flown an aircraft and you see that at the tip of the wing, there's a little bit of a wing which goes up. So there's a little bit of a curl upwards. That's because of his findings. He found that there is this drag which begins to form at the wingtips, which means that the wings are actually pretty inefficient. So if you ever see a wingtip like that, a little sharklet or winglet on a plane, that's because he recognized that there is this drag which is making the planes fly inefficiently.
Он занимался аэрокосмическими науками и также заметил насчет влияния на здоровье человека и постарался решить эту проблему помогая сделать лекарство, которое может помочь в этом.
Okay, so next we will be talking about the academic system at BME. So I will be yielding the floor to Mrs. Valeria Bolog, who is the admissions officer at Budapest University of Technology and Economics. So when you begin to join our university, she will be your first person of contact, and she will be the most friendly person who you will meet, who will be able to tell you all the information that you need to know about the academic system. So there she is.
Сейчас миссис Валерия будет ознакомливать вас с учебной системой в университете, и она будет тем, кто первый вас встретит в университете, если вы поступите туда. И все вопросы насчет академической части университета к ней.
So first of all, I would like to tell a few things about our education. Of course, we would like to deliver and offer for you a very high-level education. You can apply to our university to the preparatory program. We have preparatory engineering program, and during this year, which means 2 semesters, you can study math, physics, English, informatics, and some other subjects which belong to the faculty.
Она говорит, что вы можете поступить на preparation programs, где вы изучаете базовую математику, базовые профессии и также английский, который составляет 2 семестра.
After the preparatory course, the students has to take an entrance exam. The entrance exam means maths and physics, or on the chemical engineering faculty, they can choose, instead of physics, they can choose chemistry.
Дальше после preparation, они после foundation, так скажем, они выбирают физика или химия-физическую часть факультета и дальше обучаться.
If they pass this exam, they can go to the BSc program. As you see, we have 2-tier system program. That means in the first part, they can study on the BSc program, bachelor program.
После preparation, получается, вы сдаете экзамен, после у них идет двухстепенная, двухуровневая система обучения, баллованная программа.
The BSc program takes 7 or 8 semesters, and after that, the master degree program, it is 3 or 4 semesters long.
Обучение бакалавриата в университете составляет от 6 до 8 семестров, это 3 года или 4 года обучения, а магистратура 3 или 4 семестра, это как 1,5 или 2 года.
You can also apply not just to the BSc program, but if you have already a BSc degree, then you can apply to the master degree program.
Вы можете поступить в бакалавриат, и если у вас оно имеется, вы также можете подать на магистратуру.
We have 8 faculties, and we offer our courses from these faculties. For example, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, architecture, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, and informatics, transportation engineering, natural science, and economics.
Да, у них есть все вот эти факультеты, которые она перечислила, и кроме архитектуры вы можете во всех специальностях обучаться в бакалавриате и магистратуре.
So if you apply, you have to do it online, and after your application, we will check your documents. For the bachelor program, we need just your passport, your high school certificate, a CV, and you have to pay €100 application fee.
При поступлении все проходит онлайн. Они смотрят на ваш паспорт, на транскрипт после окончания школы и $100, yeah?
Euros.
100 евро как фи при поступлении.
Yes, and the entrance exam is also online, so you can write it from Kazakhstan.
Экзамен для поступления, все онлайн, вы можете все писать, находясь в Казахстане.
After that, when you get your acceptance letter, you should pay the tuition fee, and then we will send a proof of payment, and you can ask visa. You need.
Да, после вы уже подаете на визу, если вас приняли в университет, And also about architecture faculty, is it on BSc or only master degree?
Okay, on master degree program, you have to apply on the same way, but in this case, you have to upload your BSc document and also the TOEFL or IELTS language exam. Without the language exam, you cannot apply.
And also, do you have architecture in bachelor degree?
So the architecture program, we have a 10 semesters long course, which is altogether master degree program, but you can apply for an 8 semesters long like a bachelor program and 4 semesters long master degree program, or as I mentioned, 10 semesters long program as well.
В архитектуру вы можете поступать там 10 семестров, и вы можете также как на 8, как бакалавриат, и дальше продолжить магистратуру, или же сразу все 10 семестров можете обучиться в архитектуре.
So this is the information what I can give you how you can apply. Of course, we will check your documents, but we would like to check your knowledge via the entrance exam.
Они при поступлении будут проверять вашу знанию как в вступительных экзаменах своих.
Every year we have more and more Kazakh students. For example, in the last year we had around 100 students, and they can come as a fee-paying student, or they can come also as a stipendium Hungaricum scholarship holder students as well.
Сейчас все больше казахстанских студентов, в прошлом году поступили около 100. Они также могут приехать обучаться оплачивая или же со стипендий, с грантами.
When the students arrive, of course, we would like to help them to find accommodation, and we would like to feel that they are at home in Hungary. Therefore, we organize for them several different programs.
Ну, при поступлении, когда поедете в Венгрию, они сделают все, чтобы вы там приспособились.
Every year we organize for them Hungarian Day for Foreign Students. That means that we wanted to show our history, and we would like to show what kind of suit we were in the previous time.
Они делают венгерский день для международных студентов каждый год, и они там ознакомливают вас со своими традициями, историей и так далее.
And after that, they could dance and they could sing Hungarian songs together.
Да, они могут танцевать и петь венгерские песни.
You can see that we have many students from around 70 countries from all over the world.
Как вы видите, есть студенты с 17 разных стран, и как на фотках, мне кажется, очень все интересно.
Every year we organize a trip to visit the houses of parliament, and we can organize, for example, we can visit the opera theater or the music academy as well. And it is very nice, it is very nice when we can see that the students from different countries, they can sit next to each other, and they start to build a bridge between the countries, between the universities, and between the students.
Они дают возможность посещать достопримечательности города, как опера, музыкальные центры, и это очень хорошо, чтобы построить хорошие отношения между странами и так далее.
Every year we organize trip for the students as well. For example, we used to visit northwest of Hungary, and in that time we went to Sopron.
Они каждый год делают путешествия в разные стороны Венгрии, и здесь про северо-запад Венгрии.
During this time, we can visit many museums, cathedral, and castles as well. And as you can see, the students can taste the Hungarian food as well. For example, they are from Brazil, and of course, we offered for them the special Hungarian food, which means goulash soup and some other Hungarian food as well.
Да, они дают попробовать венгерские блюда на вкус, там гуляш, да, сказали.
This is, as I mentioned, the northwest part of Hungary, and there is a pan-European picnic memorial park as well. We visited this place already several times with the students, and also you can see this huge fish, the shark, as well, which was in the Hungarian Sea in the earliest time.
Мгм. Ну, они
After the,
посетили парк, и там вот, как вы видели, это была рыба, которая плывет в Венгерском озере.
From the northwest part of Hungary, we visited northeast part as well, and there is a beautiful and we visited many beautiful places. For example, a dripstone cave, and it is beautiful inside. That was the biggest one in Europe, and of course, when the students were very tired after that, they had lunch again. So, for example, you can see here on the photo that there is a Chinese student who studied on the PhD program, and after that there was a Brazilian student from the architecture faculty and the Vietnamese boy who studied on the electrical engineering faculty. So you see that they can study many different things, and they can meet several times, not just at the university, but also on our programs.
Мгм. Это было с северо-востока Венгрии, и, как вы видели, там были разные студенты разных городов, которые обучаются в PhD, магистратуре, но они были совместно, посещали туристические места и после обедали вместе.
Then it is the north part and in the middle of Hungary, Eger, which is a beautiful old city. You can see there a cathedral. Very often when we visited there, we could order an organ concert as well. You can see that there were almost 100 students. We went up to the minaret, which is 80 meters long.
Мгм. Это было в севере, ближе к центру Венгрии, и они посетили собор, который, может, как видите, длинный.
Then the other part of Hungary, the south part, which is also an old city, and we have beautiful Christian cathedrals there. And you can see that the students are interested in these buildings. Definitely, it is very useful for the architect students.
Мгм. Очень много христианских соборов, и это университетам, особенно кто учится в факультете архитектуры, очень интересно.
And we find some high school students, and you can see that it is written free hugs. When we came out of the museum, they were and waiting for us, and they gave a free hug for our students. That means, again, a bridge between the universities and between the countries.
Да, после музея их встретили люди, которые обнимались с ними, и за счет этого они строили хорошие отношения между странами, между университетами.
Then we visited Hortobágy, which is a huge flat place. You can see there gypsy because we offer for the students lunch with gypsy music, which is very important here in Hungary and very popular as well. But also we wanted to show for our students the nature, the lakes, and the animals as well.
Мгм. Они посетили Хартабаки, и, как видите на фотох, там они слушали песни, которые являются важными для венгерского народа, природу и их животные, которые они используют в жизни.
Very often we visited, for example, because the students asked me to visit abroad as well, different countries, and we were in Vienna. But every year I organize a sport day for the students as well. So now you can see that we were not very far from Budapest. You can see that there was a very old church, and they could swim in the swimming pool, and they can play football or even they can run around in the forest. So they really enjoy this day.
Мгм. Они находятся вблизи Австрии и бывали путешествия в Вену. И также они устраивают спортивные дни, где студенты занимаются разными физическими нагрузками, как вы видели на фотографиях.
And we also organize the sports day, for example, in Tihan, which is very popular. Even during the summer, it is a lovely place. And the students could swim there, and they played in the Balaton, which is our lake. And some of them, they said that this is the sea in Hungary. And also they could play football, and you can see that the football players, the football teams, and also visited the cathedral, and they had, we organized for them organ concert as well.
Они посетили День спорта Тихани, и там они занимались плаванием, посещали соборы, которые, думаю, есть во всех городах Венгрии.
And as I mentioned, just because the students asked me to visit Vienna, we went there, which is in Austria, very close to next country in Hungary. And this is the place Schönbrunn, and you can see there the castle.
Да, они посетили Вену в Австрии, то, что очень близко находится, и это было Шönbrunn в Австрии, в Вене, предыдущее фото.
As I mentioned before, we organized the Hungarian Day for foreign students, but we don't want to show only our culture to our students, but we would like to know many things, many information about the different countries, about the different cultures as well. That's why we organize the international festival.
Они делают международные фестивали, чтобы узнать также традиции, также истории других народов, других наций, которые обучаются в их университете.
Now you can see our Kazakh students who danced and sang a song, and we invite in this time also the embassies as well, and you can see what kind of выставка.
Здесь казахские студенты,
exhibition we have.
Казахские студенты, в предыдущей фото она танцевала, говорит, что пела, и также здесь они проводили как музей и ознакомливали казахскими, как вы видите на фотах, одеждами, историей и традициями.
In this festival, we have around 500 visitors, our students and some students also from different universities as well. And as I mentioned, also we invite the member of the embassies as well.
В выставке были около 500 людей, и также они звали с других университетов, и также там было очень много людей, около 500.
You can see the name of a Kazakh lady who lives in Hungary, and her husband was Hungarian as well. He was a scientist, and he died around 25 years ago, and his grave is in Almaty. And just because he was a scientist, he has a huge library, and this library is now in Almaty. So if you go there, you can see the Hungarian scientist.
Здесь на фото казахская девушка, которая вышла замуж за венгерского ученого, который умер 25 лет назад и похоронен в Алматы. И так как он был ученым, у него была большая библиотека, и в данный момент его библиотека находится в городе Алматы, что вы можете посетить в городе Алматы.
And she still lives in Budapest, and she helps a lot for the Kazakh students. She comes to me several times to the university if the Kazakh student needs any help. For example, if they need help to go to the immigration office, or if they need a better grade, or if they need a flat or dormitory or anything.
Она сама проживает в Будапеште и часто посещает университет и старается помочь всеми, что может, казахским студентам, что им требуется.
Yes. Jó, akkor lehet. So thank you for your kind attention. I hope that you can get many information about our university or even about our country. So I hope you feel that you would like to come and study in Hungary.
Спасибо большое за внимание, и они очень будут ждать вас в своем университете и будут рады, если вы поступите и будете обучаться в Будапеште.
If you have any question, of course, you can contact me via email as well, or if you will give your email address, I will contact you with some other information. And of course, if you have question now, we are here to reply to you.
Yeah, okay, now I will read questions. Она также говорит, если будут вопросы в будущем, можете писать, связываться с ними. And also there are questions from students here in chat, and may I read them? Yeah. And the first question is, what is requirements for master's degree?
What's the requirement for master's degree?
For master degree, we ask, of course, passport, CV, BSc certificate, as I mentioned, IELTS or TOEFL language exam. Without it, we cannot accept the application, and 2 recommendations letter from the previous university.
Okay, thank you. It's clear. And can a student exchange from Kazakhstan University to the Budapest?
Yes, they can come as a transfer student. That means that if they studied already at any other university 2 semesters, after the 2nd semester, they can come to our university. They will compare their topics, their programs to our program. And therefore, we ask not just the high school certificate and the other documents, but we also ask description of the subjects. Because if they are similar or they are almost the same, 95% they are safe, that then in this case we can give the credits and we can give the grade. So we can accept their subjects, and the WISDIN will decide which semester they can join.
Обучившись минимум 2 семестра в Казахстане, вы можете как exchange поехать в Будапешт, в университет. Они в таком случае требуют, что надо при поступлении, и также ваш транскрипт с университета, какие кредиты вам надо обучать, и ваши оценки с последних семестров. И если все совпадают, в процентах 90-95 все если совпадают, они могут вам дать обучение, закрывать кредиты в своем университете. And also there is a question about can student apply to university by both methods like to university and by stipendium Hungaricum.
The student can apply as a fee-paying student and also as a Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship holder students as well. If they would like to get a scholarship, then they have to apply very soon. It will start on 15th of, it started already 15th of November, and they can do it in December as well. If they would like to come as a fee-paying student, then the application procedure started already in October, and the deadline is 1st of December. So I would like to mention the tuition fees. The preparatory course and the BSc program, it is 3,200 euros per semester, and the master degree program is 3,500 euros per semester.
Получается, вы можете подавать, и вам надо это делать в скором времени. Для стипендий продлится уже началась регистрация, и также можете делать в декабре. И также можете напрямую подавать в университет, как я понял, и это to the university until 1st December deadline.
Yes.
Ага, до 1 декабря дедлайн. And can you repeat the cost of the university for bachelor degree?
The BSc program is 3,200 euros per semester. That means half year. And the master is 3,500 per half year.
3200 евро на семестр, да? Для половины обучения года. Можете...
If the student would like to come already in February, then they should apply as a fee-paying student. But if they would like to come as a scholarship holder, then they have to apply now, but the semester will start only just in September because it is a very, very long procedure.
Если вы будете сами оплачивать, вы можете также поступать в феврале, но если вы хотите через стипендию, то вам надо все делать в скором времени. And also the cost for the bachelor degree is the same for all faculties?
There is only just a few difference. For example, the master degree program on the civil engineering faculty it is 3,500 euros, or sorry, 3,800 euros, or on the architecture faculty it is the same 3,200. Yes.
В основном одинаково, около 3000 евро за половину года обучения. And is it necessary to write SAT reasoning examination?
We do not accept SAT at all. You need to take an entrance exam of the university.
Yeah.
Да.
So the entrance exam is obligatory for everybody before the BSc program and also before the master degree program.
Получается, они не требуют SAT, но надо будет сдавать вступительный экзамен самого университета и в бакалавриат, и в магистратуру. And do you have IT faculties? Yeah?
Yes, we call it informatics, and they can study their software engineering educations, computer science, and this is also what we have a bachelor program. It is 7 semesters long and 4 semesters long master degree program. But just according to the Bologna system, they can finish their study in Hungary after the 7th semester, and they can study master degree program anywhere else in the world, because our degree is acceptable all over the world.
Да, есть факультет по информатике, по IT, и вы можете их закончить за 7 семестров и также дальше обучать в мастер-дегри или же сами решайте дальше. And student can apply both of the methods, like to the university and both by the stipendium Hungaricum, yeah?
They can apply in the same time as a fee-paying student and stipendium Hungaricum students as well. I guess it is very good idea, because everybody has to write entrance exam, and the university will decide that yes, this guy is very clever, we would like to accept them. But it is not our final decision. If your country will tell that we don't need this degree, then they will not support this student. Okay, but in this case, although he will not get the stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, he can come as a fee-paying student.
Да, вы можете подавать в двух, и в случае выигрыша стипендий, вы также дальше они вам предоставляют такие возможности, то если же нет, то дальше вы можете сами выбрать и обучаться, оплачивая. And for fee pay deadline is 1st January, or?
A fee-paying student can apply until 1st of December, because we started it already in October. But the semester will start only just in February.
Получается, дедлайн до 1 декабря. Университет находится в городе Будапешт.
Yes, it is in the city center, so it is a very nice place. You could see some photo about our campus, so it is in the downtown. And around this campus, we have lots of restaurants, and even we offer for the students the accommodation close to the university, and they really enjoy that.
Да, находится в центре города, и все находится очень близко. And what examinations are necessary to pass university except entrance examination?
Can you repeat again? Sorry.
Except entrance examination, what else do students need to write? Or IELTS, maybe TOEFL?
For the BSc program, we don't ask IELTS or TOEFL, just because they write entrance exam, and during their or via their physics test, we can check their English knowledge. You know, we don't need a very perfect or correct language, grammar, but we would like to check whether they can follow the teacher during the class or not. So it is not that important. But for example, on the architecture faculty, before they apply, they need also to take IELTS exam.
Получается, нужен только вступительный экзамен писать, и там они будут проверять ваши знания языка. И знания языка им не требуется такой высокий, главное, вы понимали учителя. Но для профессии архитектура надо сдавать IELTS. And how we can get full scholarship, especially from which site we can send our application?
You can find information on the Tempus Foundation, and also you can ask information in Kazakhstan on the Education Ministry.
Okay, thank you.
If you have question, I will write this link for you, but you should remember Tempus Foundation.
Okay. And what will it cost for 1 year studying in finance bachelor?
You mean the tuition fee?
The finance bachelor.
We don't have a bachelor finance. So we don't have a BSc degree on the economics faculty. We offer it only just on the master degree program.
Экономика, финансы только в магистратуре. And do you have 100% scholarships for students, grants?
This is the Stipendium Hungaricum program. That means that the student, they don't have to pay tuition fee, or even they get some extra money to pay the accommodation or just for food to live in Budapest.
Получается, все зависит от Hungaricum стипендий, и там вы можете выиграть такой грант, но также за проживание и так далее надо будет оплачивать самим. Что нужно для поступления на бакалавра? And to apply to bachelor degree, a student needs only transcript and entrance examination, or something else?
For BSc?
Yes.
For BSc, we ask high school certificate. We need everything in English, and we will check whether they studied maths or physics or not. And after that, they have to write the entrance exam. Before the master degree program, we need the bachelor degree in English. And also we need their IELTS or TOEFL language certificate.
Для бакалавриата нужны ваши транскрипты с школы, и все предоставить на английском, и вступительный экзамен. And is it necessary for students to apply to university and Hungaricum scholarship separately?
Yes, they have to apply separately. As I mentioned, it is we have two different ways how they can apply to our university. The first one is fee paying. That means they have to apply right now, then they will pay their own tuition fee. But in the same time, but on different way, they can apply for their scholarship.
And where students can find the list of examinations for testing themselves for each program, like for preparation, maybe.
As I mentioned, you can write an email to me, but if you find www.bme.hu, and you can find there a slide alpha, and you can see there example for the physics, maths, or even the chemistry test before the BSc.
Ага. Вы можете написать ей или же зайти в сайт BMA и там в АФА найти варианты тестов по физике там, и так далее. And the scholarship, if a student win 100% scholarship, will it only for academy, only for studying, or will consist on their also living here?
As I mentioned, the scholarship program means that the student, they don't have to pay tuition fee, and they will get extra money, which is around, they will get some money to pay the accommodation and also to pay their food, living costs.
Ага. Получается, при выигрыше
Of course, it is not enough for everything.
Ага. Получается, при выигрыше стипендии не надо платить ни за что, они дают вам дополнительные деньги, чтобы закрывать ваши расходы, все возможные, и, как она говорит, это все закрывается. Is there a free way to apply?
This is 100 euros. This is the application fee, what they have to pay. But if they apply for the Stipendium Hungaricum, there is no application fee.
Ага. Если вы подаете в университет, надо платить 100 евро, а если в стипендию, то там не надо платить. Спортивное программирование. And do you have in IT informatics faculty C++ programming, like C++ programming studies?
Yes, C++. Sorry, but we don't know that.
And,
we have informatics, so they can study there, but we don't know what it is and what.
Ага. Получается, они не знают подробную информацию такую. Думаю, вам надо написать им в email.
But you can find information about it on our website, and there is a book bulletin, we call it. And as I mentioned before, our website is www.bme.hu, and find there our bulletin. It is written in English, and you can get information about our faculties, and even you can read the information about the subjects as well. So you can see a net there, and you can see what kind of subjects you will study there in the different semesters.
Да, вы, зайдя в сайт bmu.hu, можете там найти буклетик, книгу про университет, написано на английском, и там есть все необходимые информации, которые вам надо. Да, вы можете найти такие подробные информации. Вроде ответили на все вопросы. And also, one student asked you to write your number to connect you to it in future, to write to. And I think it will be good to write to your email in future, yet for asking questions.
Yes. I can tell you my official email address, which is admission@bme.hu.
Да, вы можете писать ей в почту.
And also, I would like to tell a few words about the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship program. So that means that you can get information on the Tempus Foundation website, or even you can call also your education ministry as well. But the application, during the application period, you have to apply online. but in one place. That means you will apply in the same times for the scholarship, and also you have to mention where, I mean, which university you would like to study. Okay, so when you apply for the scholarship, you have to mention which university you would like to study. I guess you can mention 2 universities. Okay, and after that, we will get your address and your documents from the Tempus Foundation. The university will check your documents. We will invite you to write the entrance exam. Then we will decide, and we will send back the decision to this foundation, and they will send back to your Kazakh Education Ministry. And they will decide finally that you can come or not. So you don't have to apply separately to the university and to the Tempus Foundation for scholarship. You have to do it in the same application procedure.
Вы подаете в Tempus Foundation для стипендий, и вы там указываете университеты в Венгрии, в которых вы хотите обучаться. Вы там можете отметить 2 университета после того, как вы пишете, в каком вы университете хотите учиться. Университеты связываются с вами, и вы пишете вступительный экзамен. После этого они рассматривают ваши результаты и будут вас принимать в университет. После они отправляют результат в Tempus Foundation, они следуют в Казахстан, вашим менторам в Казахстане, и они уже дальше будут решать, отправлять ли вас или нет. And how students will write entrance examination?
It is online. That means that when we checked their documents, after that we will send to the students password, and they can log in into this place. We offer for them one date every week, so they can choose the date of the entrance exam, and when they open, they have 45 minutes to solve the example or to write this test. When they open, they have to finish after 45 minutes.
Получается, они с вами связываются онлайн, отправляют вам пароль, с помощью чего вы подключаетесь, выбирая один день с недели, в зависимости от вас, и дальше вы пишете их экзамен в течение 45 минут, где вы должны будете решить все задачи, которые они вам будут давать. And I'm waiting for new questions, but больше нету вопросов? Ага. Will there be interviews with applications, or do they just need to pass the entrance exams?
So on before the bachelor program, they have to write only just the maths and physics test, or maths and chemistry on the chemical engineering faculty, and there is no interview. But before the master degree program, they have to write the test. So they have a written part of the examination, and there is also an oral test, which means an interview. In this case, they will offer a date, and via Skype, they can get this information and they can do the interview.
Для поступления в бакалавриат нужен только вступительный экзамен, нет интервью, но если вы собираетесь поступать в магистратуру, там они вас требуют вашу степень бакалавриата на английском языке, и там же так есть видеоконференции, которые выбираете сами день, и они с вами связываются, чтобы с вами провести интервью для поступления в магистратуру. Предметы, внутренний экзамен вы пишете по математика-физика или математика-химия, в зависимости от вашей профессии. Is there a psychology department?
No. We have in Hungarian, but not. We cannot offer it in English.
Нет, и в Венгрии есть, но они не на английском языке, и также университет является экономическо-политехническим университетом. Еще вопросы? And do you have chemical engineering?
Yes, we have chemical engineering faculty, and they can apply the student for the bachelor or the master degree program as well. Or very often the students apply first to the preparatory course, which is very useful because they can live in Hungary, and during this time they can study the subject in English, which is very useful for the students. And after that, is there any problem?
Sorry.
Sorry. It is very useful to apply first to the preparatory program because they can study every subject in English, and after that, when they know that what does that mean to live in Hungary, then they can go further to the higher level.
Есть химическая инженерия, и также она рекомендует сначала поступать в Foundation, Preparation Years, и там вы живете в Венгрии и обучаете английский язык и все предметы на английском. Также это обучение легкое, и также вы будете понимать, каково это жить в Венгрии, и будете наслаждаться жизнью в Венгрии.
And it is also very good for the students because before the preparatory program, there is no entrance exam. So if they apply, definitely we will accept them.
Для поступления в Foundation, для Preparation Years нет вступительных экзаменов, и они вас примут. And for Preparation Years, what documents do students need to apply to pass?
They need the same what we need in the before the BSc program. So that means only just CV, passport, high school certificate, everything in English, and what I mentioned, 100 euros application fee.
Все, что надо для бакалавриата, кроме внутренних экзаменов. And for studying in Foundation for Preparation Year, it is free to study, yes?
It has the same tuition fee. That means 3,200 euros.
Sorry. Обучение стоит так же, как в бакалавриате, да? 3000, около 3000 евро.
There is no difference between the BSc or the preparatory course. I mean, they have 30 classes during the week. The only thing which is different that they cannot collect credits. So they will study at our university. It belongs to us. They will study in the same buildings with the same teachers. The only thing which is different that they cannot collect credits. They have exams, tests as well.
Students who studying in preparation can collect credits.
No, they cannot.
Да, кто учится в бакалавриате, они могут как бы сами коллектировать, выбирать свои обучения, а также все происходит одинаково, 30 уроков в неделю, одни и те же учителя, одни и те же экзамены, только такое преимущество. And how many semesters will be foundation?
It is 2 semesters long. 1 year program. Each semester costs 3,200 euros. And now the students can apply to the second semester of the 2 semesters long preparatory course because the program started already in September. So they can join the second semester now.
Да, длится 2 семестра, и сейчас вы можете подать на второй семестр Foundation. And do you have a Department of Visual Arts?
No, we don't have.
Нет, не имеются визуальные искусства.
So this is a technical university, and we have courses on the economics faculty on the master degree program. But BSc and master degree program we have only just for the engineering courses.
Да, только инженерия в бакалавриате. And are there scholarships for foundation year, only scholarships for only a bachelor degree?
Sorry, but we cannot offer any other scholarship. This is what the Hungarian government offer, the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship. So the university has no any other scholarship program.
And also for preparation year, yeah?
No. No. Stipendium Hungaricum is offered by the Hungarian government, which is only for bachelors and masters. For preparation year, if you don't get into anything else, the preparation year is entirely at your cost.
Получается, университет не дает никаких грантов, все происходит от правительства Венгрии, и они дают стипендии только для бакалавриата и для магистратуры. В бакалавриате обучается 6 семестров или 8, в зависимости от вашей профессии. Для химической инженерии нужны, кажется, математика и химия.
So on the chemical engineering faculty, we need test in maths, and they can choose physics or chemistry.
Okay, thank you. Yes. And I mean, you can understand Russian good, yeah?
Sometimes I can understand you, yes. You don't like it? No. Nagyon gyorsan. 11 óra 6-kor kezdtem.
Okay, if there are not new questions, I mean, you can say your last words, wishes for us, and I think we can finish.
Okay, thank you very much. So it is our pleasure if you can apply to our university. Thank you for your help. It was great help for us. And I hope we will meet soon in Budapest. And of course, if you have any questions, you can contact me or you can contact Dr. George Horvat, and we will reply to you soon. We are very sorry that in this year we couldn't visit Almaty or Astana as we were there last year, but hopefully next time we will be there. Okay, so please don't forget my email address, or even you can call me as well if you have any questions. Maybe we can offer some other helps like to get visa or to find an accommodation, which is very
Yeah,
important.
Valeria, I have a question for you. Could you please give me your email address?
Yes, admission.
Wait.
Yes.
Admission
At BME. This is the name of the university. BME. .hu. I will read it. This is my email address. Please remind me that you listen to our presentation, and I will know that you have some information, but of course I will give you more. Or even I can send the link how you can apply.
Thanks a lot.
And also, if you need help to find accommodation, as I mentioned, it is very useful to find one before you ask visa. And also, if you need help to prepare yourself for the entrance exam, we can offer some tests or even some books as well.
Да, она очень рада и также сожалеет, что не смогла посетить нашу страну в этом году. И также вы можете с ней связаться по почте и также найти в сайте важную информацию про университет и примеры экзаменов. И and also thank you, big thanks, and we are happy that we can contact with university and our students can apply to university, and we will be happy if our students will pass and go to the University Budapest.
Okay, so thank you very much once again. And yeah, if you have any questions, then you're free to contact us and hopefully see you soon in Budapest. I think you will have a good time if you're here and you will come home with world-class education.
Okay, thank you. I think our students will prepare good and pass through to the university. And goodbye. Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.